to try to go over these equations and how we can solve these together. The big thing is understanding what we're looking for. So in this particular problem, we're looking at the first one. We want to get the y all by itself. And that's the big part. So in order to get y all by itself, we have to get rid of everything else. So by rule, we're going to build our wall. And then we need to move the 3x to the other side of the wall. So the 3x is positive, so I'm going to subtract 3x on both sides. Now when I do that, the 3x's are eliminated. I'm left with negative y equals, and I have an 8 minus 3x. Now I wanted to get the y by itself, but it's not. It still has this negative 1 being multiplied by it. So we're going to divide by negative 1. And on the other side, we're going to divide everything by negative 1. So left side, y equals, because we got that to be positive again. Now over here, we have 8, and we have to divide that by negative 1, so it's negative 8. And then we have the negative 3x divided by negative 1, which is positive 3x. Now that's the equation. So the particular problem that you're dealing with is asking you to create a table. Now we're going to take this equation, y equals negative 8 plus 3x, and we're going to use it to help establish some y values. So the first one is a negative 1. So I'm going to say that y is equal to negative 8 plus 3 times negative 1. Now I'm just going to work the problem right in the table here. So we would say that y is equal to negative 8. And then 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. So this is like negative 8 plus negative 3. So y would equal negative 11. So the y value would be negative 11. The next value that I ask you to use is 0. So we would say that y equals negative 8 plus 3 times 0. So I don't think we need to work this one all the way through, because you'll see 3 times 0 is 0, and negative 8 plus 0 is just negative 8. The next value we deal with is a 1. So y equals negative 8 plus 3 times 1. 3 times 1 is 3. Negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5. And the fourth term I ask you to use is a 2. Y equals negative 8 plus 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Negative 8 plus 6 is negative 2. So we have these other problems that you're having some trouble with. And all I'm going to say is I'm going to ask you to do them on your own, but I'm going to ask you to build your wall. And then remember, you're trying to get the y by itself. So in this case, we just need to subtract the 2x on both sides. And down here, this problem is going to be a little different. We're going to need to subtract the 2x, and then we're going to need to get rid of this negative 4. And I'll let you figure that part out.